The important part of pruning is basically to stop and have a little bit of a rest and study the work you've done and study the tree and stand back and you can see things a little bit more clearer. Apologies for the light, the sun's very bright on one side of the tree there, and also the wind's picking up as well, so apologies for any audio hiss. So by standing back here we can get an idea of what needs to be done. And if you look at the three stems there from the main trunk at the bottom, is split up. If you keep your eye on the right hand side stem, trace it up about 2 foot off the ground, and you see a stem coming off to the left which runs across that middle stem and is basically almost to the point where it forks on the left hand stem further up there. Now this is very distracting to the shape of the tree. It's taking away the three stems in their appearance, so I'm going to take that stem out. It's this one here. So if we go back and have another look, you can see how it runs across that middle stem. See, I've got a cross stem there which isn't very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It does fill this space, but we've got that dilemma of, from a distance, it's not doing much for the overall shape. So I'm going to be a little bit brave and take this one out. I'll leave just over an inch there. And if we go back, we'll have a little bit more of a look there. Now as you can see, those middle and left hand stems there are just that little bit more prominent. Now the part where I've just pruned off and left, I won't leave it in that long in the future. It will die back to the main stem there, and later on we can trim it a little bit closer. There's also another one at the top which I'm sure you'll be able to spot as well. It's that one in mid-screen there now. It comes off that right hand stem here and it just grows across itself to the middle of the tree there, and it's blocking this middle stem at the top there. So from a distance you've got all those thicker, older stems up at the top, more of a shape to themselves, more separated, apart from this one here which is crossing over back into the middle of the tree. So again, I'm going to be brave and take that one out as well. I think my pruners will get through that. So again, I've just left a couple of inches and that'll die back this year. And if we stand back a little bit, as you can see, those older branching stems are more prominent in the shape of literally going upwards now. Here we have a similar situation in the middle there with this stem here. The stem's behind, but that's possibly a future decision. Once those branching in the front leaves out, you won't really notice behind too much, so So I think that was the main two that were bothering me since I've sat down and had a look. The main two cross branches that were really affecting the main structure shape of the tree. So what I'll do now is I'll just evaluate again and then do any further little bits of dieback or cross branching here and there. Oh yes, I'll show you at the back of the tree. You see the back of the tree here, this branch here in particularly, this one here, it's grown quite way back behind the tree. It's almost touching the fence, and really it's not doing a great deal of use to the shape of the tree overall. It just takes a little bit lopsided or heavy-sided to the back of the tree. So I was thinking about taking that, reducing it as well, because it'll be touching the fence within a few months easily. So the decision is just reduce these branches a little bit. If I just start, instead of taking a big section out sort of here, I think just start taking a little bit off at a time, and then I can see what I'm doing. This is still quite long and I don't like the shape of it from the front. I could leave it at that, but it's still a little bit too heavy sided. Really, if I've looked around the front, it's not too bad from the front, but I think long term these are just going to continue growing in the same direction. We have some little branching here which are growing upwards, which is a little bit more nicer and give it a bit more height maybe. So I think I'm going to be brave again and prune it just past this nice healthy little branch here, a couple inches past, take that off, and it just pulls in that balance a little bit better at the back there. We've got higher branches which go further out, so that bottom one isn't making the tree look too lopsided from this side of the garden with the view. So I'm happier with that. If you have a look around the front, it's a lot more in proportion with the other branches around it in that area. In the future, basically, we might actually take some of these branches out completely. I'm not sure. That's a long time decision in the future, that. And I'd like to show you another little part, if I can find it as well. Regarding dieback pruning last year. We are pruned to say leave an inch on. Now this here was what I pruned back and left a good inch on. As you can see, it's tied back to the healthy part of the branch there, so we can reduce that this year to there. That just tidies up the branch a little bit. There was a better example on the tree somewhere, but I can't seem to find it. As you can see, it's looking a little bit more space around the branch in there now. So it's starting to take shape. Got a little bit more work to do on it. It's a matter of literally stopping, looking, imagining future growth this year as well as next year's, and then deciding what to prune. So although this is one of my favourite trees, I was a little bit nervous about pruning some of those larger branches off, because you worry about the tree being too bare when it comes to getting its leaves on, and you worry, oh, should I take that branch off and I can't put it back on, and I don't want bare spots on the tree. But the experienced guys will tell you that most Japanese maples come back fairly quickly within a year or two with new growth, so you shouldn't worry too much. And I'm quite happy with the shape it's starting to take there today after probably just about half an hour pruning, if that. So I think it's just now, it's just a matter of just little bits here and there to tidy it up. Give it a little bit more openness to it, and then just let the tree grow again this year and evaluating from there. I think there's a couple of stems, if you can see, to the top right hand side there, which is several inches past the height of the fence. I might reduce them into just under the fence, just to get a more even shape to the left hand side, the middle as well, because we had dye back on the left hand side, so I shortened the height on that side. So I think I'll leave it there for this part, and we'll pick up in a little bit once I do some more.